Do you enjoy living underground but want to avoid the downsides like not feeling any sun on your skin, hearing the rain fall, or slowly descending into madness due to your pure isolation from the outside world? Well, then I have the perfect solution for you. It's glass. Also, if you're wondering why I sound weird, it's because I'm sick. So either I sound like this or I go back to text at the top of the screen. But yeah, this base has a whole bunch of awesome features, so let's get straight into the tour. Alright, so starting off the tour, let's of course take a look around the exterior of the base. So we have one big square in the center here, which then leads off to a little square on the left and a little square on the right. We have a nice checkered pattern of some polished andesite and also stone in a ring around some glass here. Now the reason this is added in is because you'd see like the dirt behind the glass, so if you like that, feel free to just make everything glass. I wasn't really a fan, so I added this nice checkered pattern, which is also repeated in the base below on the floor. Then we have some nice azaleas here, repeated between flowered and not flowered, which is all underneath some coarse dirt to give it a nice texture instead of just kind of grass being repeated underneath, which, whoopsie daisy. I guess I just completely forgot to add it in here. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, there we go, much better. And these are all connected up to our... and like I was saying, these are all connected up to some nice little pillars here. We've got some lanterns on top of some, and then we also have some stone buttons on top of these ones. The buttons don't do anything, they just kind of look cool. And then we have some nice little sectioned off areas here with a little bit of a crop farm in each little area. It's mainly meant to be decoration. Obviously, it's not too functional as it's going to be kind of annoying having to run back and forth and harvest each thing. So it's meant to just kind of look nice. And then the way to get down is actually in the central trapdoor right here, which leads down to a ladder. So heading down into the interior of the base, we can first head straight ahead and to the left here. And as you can see, we have a nice little bunk bed here. So this base could accommodate up to 2 players if you wanted. You could also repeat this in the other side over here if you wanted 4 people in here for some reason. But yeah, so in here we have a nice little decorative piece with a barrel. This is meant to be like your personal storage for the bedroom area. And then to the right of this, we have a nice little leaf area. I don't really know what to call it. It looks kind of nice. Then we have an empty armor stand. I'll be filling this up with armor later on in the tutorial. And yeah, so over here we also have a lectern, and then over here we have the mirrored thing, so another lectern and then another armor stand. And these have been put here in specific places as we have trapdoors behind the lecterns here, which actually cover up the wall from the inside over here, and likewise for over here in the storage area. So these need to be put in these specific places. Also, you can access this chest from back here. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so turning around from here, we have a little decorative piece here, just a bunch of barrels. Kind of looks like a little wine cellar thing, I guess. And then to the right of this, we have something I stole from my ultimate underground base, which is like a little wither head statue thing. Well, wither skeleton skull statue. And yeah, so the idea is when you collect a skull, you put it on top of here, and then when you have 3, you know you have enough to summon the wither boss thing. Now heading over to the right here, we can take a look at these 3 sections. So firstly, we have our smelting area here with just a couple of furnaces, a blast furnace, and also a smoker. If you wanted more furnaces, what I'd recommend doing is replacing these barrels with some furnaces. You could also replace the back walls here with more furnaces. I just kind of left it like this as it looks pretty aesthetically pleasing. To the right of this, we have our crafting area with a bunch of crafting blocks, also some decorations. There's also obviously decorations on top of here, and also more barrels. We have barrels in top of every section. I'm not going to mention it, so yeah, there's barrels at the top. And then yeah, over to the right here, we have a big old storage area. These top ones, of course, do open thanks to some slabs on the roof here. And that pretty much covers it for the left section over here. Let's head over to the right. So firstly, we have a nice brewing area with 4 brewing stands. I was about to mention the barrels up top, but you know they're there, okay? Then in the center here, we have a nice little sink with a tap. That's a tap, not a tripwire hook, okay? That is a tap faucet. Now, spinning around, we have our netherwort farm to match the brewing area over here. So we have a little bit of an area to grow some netherworts, so I feel like that's probably enough for your potion making. If not, feel free to just expand this backwards. And then to the left of this, we have a nice enchanting area. This, of course, does reach a full level 30. And yeah, that's pretty much everything to the base. It's pretty small, but it fits in a lot of things that you need for survival and is of course completely expandable. Say you wanted a whole nother section like this on the left here, you could just pretty much repeat this entire thing over to the left and just keep going as far as you really want. You could do the same for the central square here and just expand it that way if you wanted. That's why I love making bases like this that are completely modular. You can just expand it to your tastes. I'm just kind of here to give you the base design, I guess. But yeah, so if you like the look of this base and want to create it for yourself, feel free to stick around and we'll get started on the tutorial right now. Alright, so to start off, you're of course going to need a nice flat open area like this one. Then we're going to be grabbing out some spruce wood, so the wood that has like the wood texture on each side, and we're going to be making our pillars first, starting with the big central square. So firstly, we're going to be adding in the front leftmost pillar. I'm just going to chuck it in right here. All of these pillars are going to be 2 blocks high as well. Now to the right of this, we're going to count a space of 9 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on the block to the right of this, we're going to add in another pillar. So we should have a gap of 9 blocks in between these. Now we're going to do the same thing, but going backwards. 8, 9, and then add in your pillar like so, and then we can just kind of line ourselves up with our first pillar and that one there to add in our last one. Now on the sides here, we're going to be adding in an additional pillar that's spaced 1 block away. So we're going to add in another one there, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side as well, but not on the front and back. And so we should have a gap of 5 in between these 2 pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we do. And now we're going to extend to the right of these pillars by another gap of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add in your pillars, and then we can just add in our final pillar like so, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the left side here. And there we go, that's all the pillars done. Now we might as well just add in the little decorations on top of them while we're at it. So on top of all of these pillars here, so like the kind of the inner ones, I guess, we're going to add on some lanterns, and then on top of all of the rest of them, we're going to be adding some stone buttons. Alright, and now for this next part, I would recommend grabbing out the beefiest, manliest shovel that you can find, as we're going to be doing quite a bit of excavating. So the first thing we're going to do is excavate a line in between each of our pillars. It doesn't matter if you remove any of the inner blocks for now, but we're just going to kind of line out the base for now. So that's the outline done for the base. Now let's just remove all of the grass on the inside. And there we go, so that's the first layer done. Now we're going to have to do this an additional 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to be the floor of the base there. So yeah, let's just excavate everything. Something I should note as well, we're actually going to be excavating the blocks that are directly underneath the pillars as well. So actually remove all of these blocks, and yeah, just make sure to excavate those as well all the way down to the bottom. And once you're all done, your area should be looking a little something like this. Now we're going to be turning our attention back up to the exterior of the base. We've just excavated this now, as it makes it kind of easier instead of having to work around all the stuff we're going to be adding in now. So what we're going to be doing is firstly placing some coarse dirt underneath our pillars and then connecting up all of our pillars together. So one strip like this, and then we're going to go directly to the other corner and then just, yeah, pretty much just outline the entire base. It might be easier if we jump down inside as well. And now with that linked up, we're going to be once again linking up these pillars over to this side as well, and then linking back up here, and then let's of course repeat this on the other side as well. And there we go, so that's all of our coarse dirt added in. Now we're going to be creating another ring on the inside of this, but this time with a checkered pattern of polished andesite and stone. So let's first start off on the smaller square over here, and we're going to start with some polished andesite. Then to the right of this, some stone, and then we're just going to repeat this exact same thing in a ring around the entire square. And now with that side done, let's actually just repeat this real quick on the other side. And now with the sides done, head to the middle and do basically the exact same thing, except of course it's over a larger area. And now with all of that done, we can fill in the remaining gaps with some glass. And there we go, now we need to find a way out of the base. I'm going to fly because I can. And once you're back out here, now we're going to be placing some azaleas and also some flowering azaleas on top of all of these coarse dirt blocks. So just be sure to alternate between them. Don't do like a checkered pattern, just kind of like how you'd texture a wall or something like that. Just kind of keep it as random as you can. And we'll also be linking up these inner blocks as well. Alright, and now with that done, it's on to the final thing for the exterior, which is the little farms. So let's first start off with the very front of the base here, and keep in mind this is where you'll want your entrance to be down into the actual base. Starting off, let's grab a spruce trapdoor. We're going to place our first one here, right in line with our pillar, and then in front of it, we're going to place a spruce slab. Now let's do the same thing over on this side here, and then we're going to link up the slabs with some more trapdoors all the way across like so. Then we can open our middle trapdoor and dig down 5 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can dig a little tunnel over to our actual base here. Now let's grab out some stone and replace these blocks. We won't be replacing the topmost blocks as they will be kind of like farm blocks, I guess. You can do these ones if you want to, as they're covered by the trapdoors. So yeah, just feel free to do that if you want. And then of course, to get back up, we can place down some ladders all the way up to our trapdoor here. Then from our central trapdoor here, we're going to go 3 blocks to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and then open up this trapdoor and replace the grass underneath it with some water. Then we can close this back up, head back to the middle trapdoor here, and then count another 3 blocks to the right this time. 1, 2, 3. Open it up, place in your water. And that'll be enough water for our entire front strip here, so we can go ahead and till all of this grass into some farmland and plant in your crop of choice. I'm going with wheat. Then we can head over to the right here and do pretty much the exact same thing. So we're going to be placing our spruce slab right here, lining up with this pillar and also this pillar, and then we're going to connect it up with some trapdoors. Then we can open the central trapdoor, place in some water, close it up, and do the same thing. But this time I'm going to plant some carrots. So I'm going to be planting carrots on the outermost farms and then wheat on the innermost farms, if that makes sense. So now we can repeat this on the other side over here real quick, and then we can mirror this exact same thing on the back here. But this time for the back one here, we only need to actually place in 1 water bucket, as that is sufficient enough for the entire farm. So just for the central trapdoor here, just replace this one with some water, and that'll be enough to reach every block. And there we go. With that completed, we're now fully done with all of the exterior for the base, and it's time to head down our ladder into the interior. Alright, so for the first order of business, we're going to be going around the entire walls and floor and making sure that every single block is a stone block. Of course, don't replace these coarse dirt blocks here. Just replace everything else but those with some stone. With all of that done, your base should be looking nice and clean. The next thing we're going to be doing is extending our pillars all the way down to the bottom of the base here. So let's first head into this corner over here and just extend our pillars down. Then to the left of this, spaced by 1 block, we're going to add in another pillar. Then let's just repeat this in all 4 corners of our main square here. Then with that done, we're actually going to be adding in some extra pillars down here. So firstly, aligning... Oh, there's a block I missed. Whoopsie daisy. So aligning ourselves up with our ladder here, we're going to be going 1 block to the left and 1 block to the right and adding in some pillars like so. And then we're going to mirror this on the back wall over here as well. So this is the center. We're going to be going left and right by 1 block. Next, let's head over to the left section over here and just add in some pillars like so in the corners. And then, of course, repeat this exact same thing on the right side. Next, we can add in our checkered floor pattern. All we need for this is just some polished andesite. So to line this up, let's go to the very back wall of the base here, and spaced 1 block away from our pillars here, let's add in some polished andesite like so. Then we can repeat this off to the left and to the right by an additional block, so we should be 1 block spaced away from this pillar as well. Then we're going to extend this checkered pattern downwards. And we can continue this once we reach all the way over to this block right here. We should be 1 block spaced away from this pillar and 2 blocks spaced away from the back wall. So that's the main floor checkered pattern done. Now we're going to extend this off to the left and to the right. So to do that, let's first start off with the left side. We're going to branch this off by 1 block here. Then we're going to go out to 2 blocks, back in, out, and then we're done. So we should be 2 blocks away from this wall and 2 blocks away from this wall as well. And let's just repeat this on the other side. And there we go, we're all done with the floor. And now it's on to adding in our actual sections in the base here. First, let's start off with the very back central area right here. Starting off, let's add in a barrel at the top, and underneath this, a lantern. Then below this on the ground, let's place in some upside down spruce stairs, and on top of it, place a flower pot with a cornflower. Now we're going to head over to this section to the left here, and let's add in a lectern, chuck in a book, and then above it, we're going to place in some spruce trapdoors. And once we reach the top here, let's place in some upside down spruce stairs. Then turning around, let's add in some upside down stairs on the top and bottom section, and then in the middle let's place in an armor stand. Now heading over to the back here where our ladder is, let's turn to the right. So in line with our lectern that we added in over here, we're going to be adding in the same design for the armor stand, and then turning around once again, let's add in our lectern on the bottom, upside down spruce stairs on the top, and then fill in the wall with some spruce trapdoors. Now we might as well fix up our ladder while we're at it, so let's remove these 2 stone blocks here, and then in between the 2 pillars let's add in a slab, and then in front of it a spruce trapdoor. Now let's turn around once again to the back wall, and firstly let's add in our bedroom. Well, it's not really a bedroom, it's more like a bed wall. So firstly along the top, let's add in some upside down spruce stairs like so. Then let's add in some ladders on the right side, and then on the bottom here to the left of the ladders, add in your first bed. Then above this, let's add in a spruce slab, and coming away from it, a spruce trapdoor. Then we can use our ladder, hold shift, and add in our second bed on top of this little shelf here. And that's it for the bedroom. Now let's head over to this right section over here. We're going to once again add in some stairs along the top. Then in the center here, let's add in 3 oak leaves. On top and below that, let's add in a spruce slab, and then beside those slabs, some spruce trapdoors, just like so. And then to finish up this back wall, let's add in a lantern in the center of this area right here on this stone block, and then do the same here on the right side. Turning around, let's add in our 2 little decorative areas on the left and right here. Also, feel free to replace these decorative areas with something you feel like you'll need. So firstly, starting off on the left side here, let's grab out some barrels. We're going to be placing 2 along the top here, and then extending pretty much a checkered pattern all the way down to the bottom. Now on the bottom left and right section here, let's add in some spruce stairs that are kind of facing in towards the central barrel here. On top of this barrel, let's add in a couple of candles and ignite them with a flint and steel. In the left section up here, add in a campfire and extinguish it. And then on the right here, place in a flower pot with a blue orchid. And then finally at the top, add in a spruce slab just to cover up the ugly dirt. Then we can also add in our lantern directly in front of this slab, and also add in our lantern here as well. And then for this section, we're going to be adding in our wither statue thing. So along the top, let's place in some upside down spruce stairs. Then we're going to add in a T-shape with some polished andesite. And then on top of all of these, place in some wither skeleton skulls. You might not have 3 yet, so just leave it blank or add in 1 or 2 or however many you have. And yeah, we're all done with the center of the base. Now let's head over to the left side. So the first thing we're going to do is actually add in some barrels all the way along the top here, and we're going to repeat this exact same thing on each side here. Then underneath all of these, we're going to add some upside down spruce stairs, and then coming away from them, some spruce trapdoors. Let's just repeat this in every section. And then in between these 2 spruce trapdoors below the barrel, let's place in a lantern like so. Now starting on the left side wall here, let's add in some furnaces along the bottom, 3 in total. Then to the left of this, a blast furnace, and then a smoker. Above the blast furnace, let's add in a campfire and extinguish it. And then 1 block to the right of this, we're going to add in a flower pot with an azalea. Now to the right of this, let's add in our crafting area. Firstly, we're going to be adding an anvil. To the right of that, a smithing table, followed by a crafting table, then a loom, and then finally a grindstone here. Then on top of the anvil, let's add in a couple of candles and ignite them. On top of the crafting table, add in a flower pot with a blue orchid, and then directly to the right of this on the loom, add in a large amethyst bud. Now onto the final section over here, let's add in our storage area. So for this one, we're going to be excavating 2 blocks deep here. And once that's all done, make sure that each exposed block is a stone block. Don't worry about the roof, as we're going to be actually excavating the roof up by 1 more block like so. You're going to have some water kind of leak into your base, but don't worry too much about it. If you want, you can kind of waterlog this water with a spruce slab just to stop it for now. And now along the top here, on the bottom half of the topmost block, let's add in some spruce slabs all the way across. And then we're going to be adding in a bunch of double chests pretty much in every single section that you can. It might be kind of tricky to place in this last one here, so what we can do is head around here and use this trapdoor to actually place in the final one. So you can open up this one as well, and just do some sick tricks to get it in there. And now to finish up the storage area, let's place in some more spruce stairs on the corners here, and then we're going to connect these up using some spruce trapdoors, and then place in some more spruce trapdoors on the bottom here. And now the final thing to do with this section is to cover up this ugly dirt here. So to start off, we're going to place in some spruce slabs on the left and right side, and then we're going to connect them up using some spruce trapdoors. And now we might as well quickly just do this for our other section as well. And now let's add in everything for this section. So just like the previous section, we're going to be adding in our barrels all along the top here in each area. Then underneath them in each corner, add in some upside down spruce stairs, some trapdoors coming away from them, and a lantern in the middle. Now let's firstly start off with our brewing area, which is the leftmost wall, or the wall that's like on the back, I guess. So let's place in 2 stripped spruce wood blocks like so, and then we're going to repeat this on the right side, leaving a gap in the center. And on this center block here, we're going to place in some spruce stairs facing backwards, so it kind of leaves a little gap like this, and we're going to place some water inside like so. Then above this, we can add in a tripwire hook, which kind of looks like a little tap, and then to the left and right, we can add in some brewing stands on top of our stripped spruce wood blocks. Now in front of the stair here, let's add in a spruce trapdoor, and to the left and right of that, a spruce sign. And that's it for the brewing area. Heading to the right, let's add in our enchanting area, and for this one we're going to have to excavate 3 blocks deep. Now for this one, you don't have to worry about replacing the dirt blocks to stone, as we're going to be covering them up using some bookshelves. So firstly on the left here, let's add in a 2-block wide rectangle of bookshelves and do the same on the right side here. Then before we cover up the back wall, let's add in 1 bookshelf on the corner here, and then we can fill up the back wall all the way up to the top. Then we can add in our enchanting table and ensure that it reaches a full level 30. Now at the top, we're going to be replacing these 6 blocks here with some spruce planks, or you can use slabs to save on wood. And now on the left and right pillars here, let's add in some upside down spruce stairs. On top of the left one, we're going to place a flower pot with a cornflower, and on top of the right one, a large amethyst bud. And so that's it for the enchanting area. Now let's turn to the right, our final section, the netherwart farm. For this one, we're going to be excavating 1 block deep. And this time we're going to be replacing the blocks with some stone. You don't have to worry about the floor or the back bottom layer, as we're going to be adding in some soul sand like so, extending this all the way out in line with our pillars here. Now don't worry about placing this one, as we're going to replace it with some spruce stairs like so. And then we can also cover up the front of all of the soul sand blocks with some spruce trapdoors. And then finally we can add in some nether warts on top of every soul sand block. And now with that done, we're completely finished with the entire base. I did forget to add in some armor into the armor stands. I know I said that in the tour that I'd add in some armor, but I just kind of forgot and I can't be bothered. But yeah, so we're fully done with the base. Quite a quick and easy one. This one is of course expandable like I mentioned, but I won't talk about it again. If you enjoyed this base and tutorial, feel free to leave a like on the video, as it helps me out a lot more than you think. And also feel free to subscribe if you want to see future tutorials just like this one, hopefully with a less nasally and sick sounding voice. Cheers for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.